Alrighty, everybody. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Atlanta News First Alert Desk. I'm Savannah Louie. Happy to bring you 5 stories this evening. It is now 8 o'clock for our Thursday, August 10th edition of Atlanta News First Plus. And I want to begin with a quick update here to a story we brought you. If you joined us during our afternoon shows, you may have seen images that we showed you on air of a large police presence at an apartment complex in West Midtown in Atlanta, Fulton County. We know that it was happening at an apartment complex near Atlantic Station called Radius West Midtown. Atlanta police tell us that someone was barricaded inside of an apartment. Police were initially called to that complex for a domestic dispute. I just wanted to give you a quick update on this. No update on what exactly happened yet, but I want you to stay with us on AtlantaNewsFirst.com as well as the Atlanta News First app. If there are any important updates, we will be sure to post on that. It's an amazing resource, and we are working to learn more information, currently communicating with authorities. All right, I want to move on to a large story, though, that is taking over the metro Atlanta area when it comes to families and children and educators. A story that's got a lot of people talking this evening, and it concerns this woman right here. She is a metro Atlanta educator fighting for her professional life after reading her kids a book that challenges gender norms. It's that book right there, My Shadow is Purple. Now, the teacher in question, her name is Katie Rinderly. She took the stand today at a termination hearing. She's a 5th grade teacher at Due West Elementary, and she's been on leave since this past March after reading that book, My Shadow is Purple, to her class. Now, that book challenges gender norms. The teacher says, she admitted on the stand here, that she instructed students refer to the main character as they instead of he. Her attorney says a parent claimed her actions violated a 2022 Georgia law that says teachers must refrain from teaching divisive concepts. She's currently fighting to get her job back. We have more information on that story, though, at AtlantaNewsFirst.com as well as the Atlanta News First app. All right, I want to bring you a story update to something we covered yesterday. And just full disclosure, disclaimer here, it is a very disturbing, very upsetting story having to do with a baby who was decapitated during childbirth. All right, we have our reporter Patrick Quinn, who has been following this story very closely, getting all the latest answers and holding people accountable. And today he heard back from the hospital, who made their voice heard in what happened from their perspective. I'm going to go ahead and play you Patrick's report.
I think I can speak for everybody that's been involved in this case. It's traumatizing.
Brian Bowers, director of the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office, said they are now referring this case to the Georgia Composite Medical Board to investigate 3 specific doctors involved. I'm told one of those is Dr. Tracy St. Julian, who is named in the family's lawsuit that alleges gross negligence during the birth.
When the womb was opened, the feet came out, the body came out, and there was no head.
The hospital said they notified the medical examiner's office of the death. Byer said that's not true, but that the hospital is now cooperating with their investigation. Byer said they've also asked the Georgia Secretary of State's office to look into the nurses involved. And the GBI and the Clayton County Police Department, they're also investigating for any wrongdoing.
So many people looking at this from so many different angles that are completely independent from each other. I have no doubt that the truth will come out, and the public should rest assured that they'll get an honest answer and an honest review of what happened.
All right, and again, that was Patrick Quinn reporting there. All right, I want to move ahead to another story. This one is so community-based, and it involves a radio DJ here in Atlanta who is extremely loved by people all throughout the metro Atlanta area. I'm going to go ahead and show you a picture. This is Steve McCoy. He was on the Atlanta airwaves for years. He's now in his 60s, and he's fighting advanced Parkinson's, and he is on hospice. Now, when Steve was first diagnosed about 15 years ago, his first instinct was to help the Michael J. Fox Foundation raise money, and now an online fundraiser has been set up to help with Steve's care. His family insists half of that money go to the Atlanta Neuroscience Foundation to help other caregivers. And while he's lost his radio voice, his former Star 94 co-hosts say that he is still making people smile. Now, there will be an event, a stand-up for Steve McCoy at the Punchline Comedy Club. That's happening on August 27th. If you would like to go, proceeds for a great cause. And here at Atlanta News First, our thoughts are with Steve and Steve's family as well. All right, final story for this evening. This is pretty incredible video. I saw this and I immediately thought, we have to show you on here. So, a suspect in a case, in a hit-and-run case, tries to evade police. And while police in Fayette County are looking for him, well, he hides in the sewer. Police then used a drone to capture that man. Now take a look at this. This is obviously the aftermath there. You see the officers pulling the man from the sewer. But it's pretty remarkable technology. They use this drone to take pictures of the suspect. You can see him right there with his forehead, with his hair, and eventually pulling him out of that sewer. You can run, but you cannot hide. Technology, so remarkable these days, right? All right, guys, thank you again so much for joining me here on this Thursday evening. I'm going to send you out with a picture of... Oh, there we go. Picture of the Midtown Atlanta skyline. You can see some clouds in the distance. Hopefully that doesn't mean downpours in the near future. We have meteorologist Fred Campagna now with us. And Fred, how's it going?
It's going great, Savannah. Good evening to you. All right, let's talk about what is going on here weather-wise. Get set up real quick and show you the 7-day forecast, which I hope, yes, is in the computer that I want to show you. All right, let's talk about it. This is what's going on out there this evening. Temperatures are still in the low 80s in many spots. It's really nice out there. A little humid. The humidity is going to be a big factor for us over the weekend. Nothing showing up on the first alert radar right now. You can see that we have some clouds drifting in, but there you go, off to our west. Couple of spotty showers, northwest Alabama. That action should begin to take a little better shape overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Tomorrow, level 1 risk of severe weather south of Atlanta. Here's what the timeline looks like over the next couple of days. Notice those showers and storms. So a first alert for some rain for your morning commute, probably pretty similar to what we saw out there this morning, which was, it didn't exactly torrentially pour indicator, but we got some rain for sure. Heard a rumble of thunder or two, but not much. I think tomorrow is kind of similar. And once again, I think the steadier stuff may be more on the west side and northwest side than what we get on the east side. As we go through the day, we dry out a little bit, isolated shower or thunderstorm possible in the afternoon to early evening, and then we're set up with what looks like a hot weekend. Saturday, dry into the afternoon, just a 20% chance of a storm coming through Saturday evening. Sunday also looking hot. It is going to cook this weekend. Temperatures up into the 90s, high humidity, so it's going to feel hotter than that. Notice that yellow line, though. It does go down in the middle of next week, so there is some hope for some drier weather coming our way. These are the actual temperatures. Tomorrow's a tricky temperature forecast. If clouds are stubborn, it may only get to around 85 tomorrow. We're going 87. I'll look at some new information that comes in this evening, and I'll have updates for you. Coming up on Peachtree TV at 9 and 10, and then on Atlanta News First at 11 o'clock. First alert for Friday morning for the rain and storms. The first alert on Monday is for that high of 96 and the feel-like temperature on Monday of about 106 because of that high humidity. So Saturday, Sunday feeling about 100 to 104, I think. That Sunday, 106 might be a little bit aggressive. We'll see. That forecast, I'm sure, will evolve a little bit over the next day or two. And into the middle of next week, humidity comes down. No storms are expected in the next 7 days in the tropics, but there are some signs that things could get pretty active for us in the second half of August, which is typically when everything starts to ramp up. In fact, you can see that here. This is historically what's happened. And notice the spike. It happens right around mid-August, and it continues until October 1st. So that's your big picture peak of hurricane season is August 15th to October 1st. The smaller picture is generally about the first 10 to 15 days of September. That's where the that's where the highest peak is, I should say. So that's when things are most active. And I should also note that NOAA has changed their tune a little bit on the hurricane season because Atlantic sea surface temperatures are really warm. We don't officially have an El Nino yet, even though there's plenty of warm water pooling in the Pacific Ocean. And they are now saying a 60% chance of an above normal season, a 25% chance of near normal, and just a 15% chance that it'll be below normal. Now, we've had 5 storms so far. 4 of them have gotten a name. One was unnamed earlier in the year, never got a name. So we've used 4 names so far, but officially 5 storms. They say another 9 to 16 storms are coming. We've had 1 hurricane that was Don. NOAA now saying we're going to see 5 to 10 more hurricanes. So if we see 10 hurricanes between August 15th and, I don't know, say October 15th, that'd be a new hurricane every 6 days. That seems a little high to me. Their forecast in general seems a little bit aggressive, but we'll see. You know, they also name the storms too, so there might be a borderline storm or two that sometimes gets a name that has us all scratching our heads. All right, I hope you have a great evening. And again, first alert for some rain for tomorrow morning's commute, so take it a little bit slow on the roadways early tomorrow. It looks a little bit better in the afternoon, much lower chance of showers coming our way. And then our 7-day forecast features a hot weekend, temperatures in the 90s, and still hot early next week. It turns less humid on Wednesday and Thursday.